Howdy everyone, Icy Mike here, and welcome to Icy Climbs. So this is going to be actually a bit of a different experience for you guys. I've mentioned on a couple of streams now that I regularly go to a bouldering gym with one of my roommates, Crazy Soul. And what bouldering is essentially rock climbing, but without the harness. So I mentioned that to you guys, and I mentioned the possibility of me recording some of my climbs and putting it up on the channel as like a haha, and a couple of you guys were like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. So I thought I would put a few up there, and I wasn't sure how I wanted to do the videos, but basically it's just going to be kind of like me kind of commentating over them as I rewatch them. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you don't, oh well, but it's something we're doing, so let's roll with the first clip here. So on this first one here, I'm doing the orange V2, and it's pretty interesting because if you look at the other numbers and stuff, you can see they're ranking from... At this gym, you go from like V0, and I think the highest one I've ever seen there was like a V11. And as you progress through the levels, they get a little bit harder and a little bit more difficult to do, or they require more strength, or they require more technique, and so on. So pretty much the level that we're at is really at the, I would say the V... That's me hopping off the wall there. I would say we're at like the V2-ish, you know, harder V1s, V2 areas. This is like the upstairs flat wall, so a lot of them are generally not as physically demanding, though they could still require a certain level of technique. Because like on the flat wall, it's all about technique. On the arched wall, which you'll see on the next one, I believe, is more about like strength and the technique combined, because as the wall inclined, it gets much more difficult to do them. And let's see here, where is it? Alright guys, so this is it here. This one's actually on incline wall, so I'm actually kind of hanging straight back from the start, and this again was at the end of our climb, so it's another V0, so it's another technically lower level 1, but it still takes some strength and is you know, kind of hard to get up. But you know, it's not always necessarily doing the hardest problems, but just doing as many problems as you can, at least when you're starting. That way you can kind of start getting some of the more basic technique down and some of the strength, and just being overall comfortable on the wall and understanding that, hey, if I fall, you know, I'm gonna be okay. And so you can see me climbing down here, just trying to stay safe, you know, getting off of the wall. I'm kind of struggling. I was actually trying to climb all the way down, but as you can see, it never really gets that high necessarily, especially if you're taller. It doesn't seem like it's that high. To like a little kid, it's like, oh man, we're climbing up, you know, so high. But for us, it's not too bad. Speaking of falls, I want to show you guys this one here. This is when I moved on to, or at least this is some of the footage of me trying some of the V2s. This V2 here is a lot more difficult than you originally let on, because as you look at it, it looks pretty simple. You know, it looks like that last V0 I did has really deep holds and what have you, and overall it kind of looks fine. I'm just trying to step back here so you guys can see all of it. You know, not too bad. It looks like it has deep holds. Not a whole lot of footholds, but no, you know, you basically use your handholds as footholds, and then it ends right there up at the top. However, as you see me scramble here, you're actually upside down the whole time. So that's what makes it difficult. So I actually do attempt this one, and here is my attempt at it. So I'm starting here, and this one, and this is what you guys have been waiting for, honestly. And this is what you really wanted to see out of Icy doing bouldering videos. So again, I've tried this problem before. I've not made it up before, and I keep forgetting to try this problem when I'm like fresh and feeling really strong. So not only had it been a long time since we did this, you know, I wasn't feeling as strong as I could. So I get up to this point, and I think it's coming here in a second. I slip, and then poof, just straight onto the mat. And, you know, it's not necessarily that high or anything. And, you know, it didn't really hurt. But, like, if you guys have, like, played football or something and gotten knocked over really hard, it doesn't necessarily hurt because you're in padding or whatever. You just kind of get back up. But, like, later on, you can kind of feel like, huh, I got hit by something today. Well, today I got hit by the floor. So that was, but it was fun all the same. You know, that's part of what happens when you do, you know, bouldering and stuff like that. You got to get used to falling. You got to know how to fall properly. I fell okay there, but it was such a quick, you know, fall that I was gone. I have one more here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pulling it up now. So this one here was actually on that same wall. This one's a V0 though, and you obviously don't have to really hang off of the wall. But again, at this point, we're really kind of draining ourselves, and I was like, no, I gotta record some, because we did, we did a few of the, you know, V1s and stuff like that, and then we started recording because it was so busy downstairs, because this is actually, there's upstairs and there's downstairs to the gym, and the upstairs is a lot shorter and generally has the less physically demanding ones other than this overhang wall. So I was like, well, I got to do a couple cool ones on the street, for the YouTube. So I was like, what, for the YouTube, and that was one of them. You know, it's a V0, so it's tactically not the most difficult one, but physically it is a little bit more demanding because you are kind of hanging off of a wall. And then I have one more. I actually did do a V2 on this video here. Let's see which one it is. So this is a V2 here, and the funny part about this is Crazy Soul was doing this one, and I didn't think I could do it because you can see it has very small holds, and I'm just barely pinching to hold onto those things. But I tried it once, almost got through it, so I was like, dude, turn on the camera, I want to see if I can get through it again. So I gave myself a little bit of rest time, and you can see me kind of scrambling to get up there, and you know, luckily I have long arms, so I'm actually able to reach up to some of these holds that he was having a little bit more difficult reaching. So I think we recorded him doing this one, but he just couldn't, he was too tired by the time we got to this, because both of our endurance were drained from not doing this in like 2 weeks. So, but we're doing pretty good here, and you can see me kind of sidestepping over. Up here is actually where I fell the first time. Like, I get up here, and you can't really see my feet. We got to work on the cinematography. Yeah, you can kind of see me switching feet here. I couldn't get my foot over to where I just got it on the left. Like, when you're up on the wall, it's a slightly different experience because you don't always see... Oh, look at that calf muscle, though. You don't always see... Like, when you're up on the wall, you're flat against the wall, so you don't always see what's below you, and you could tell in that video there was, like, that triangle hold that actually stuck out. You're not allowed to stand on that unless it has one of those... Oh, yeah, I guess I should have prefaced this. When you do bouldering, you have what's called bouldering problems. So you only do... So if you were to do, like, let's say, a green V2, like in that video... the green V2, you only use the green footholds and the green climbing holds. I guess I should have explained that in the beginning. But basically, you only use those holds. So as you saw me go through there, I was, you know, only using the green holds and the green footholds. But when it juts out like that, you can sometimes step on them if it has a green hold. So I was standing on it, but the one next to it didn't have one of those holds, and it was perfectly blocking where I ended up putting my left foot. So it was kind of funny, and that was the only reason why I fell. So anyway, so we got through a couple more difficult ones. I know it really wasn't much for you guys, but we really, again, if the gym was as empty as it was the other 80% of the time where we go, I would have recorded a whole lot more, especially downstairs, because that's where the walls are a lot higher, so it's a little bit more interesting to see, oh, you know, he climbed so high kind of thing. But it was packed. Like, there was a good 20 people, like, there, and there was a good handful of them, like, constantly on the wall and constantly climbing and stuff like that. So I got some, you know, some footage for you guys, and obviously you guys got to see me fall, which is always funny. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We need to, you know, we'll work on the cinematography a little bit for cinematography, just the recordings a bit, to get a slightly better quality for next time. They also constantly have music going, so through the whole time, me and Crazy are chit-chatting or whatever, but you can't, you know, I just went ahead and cut out that audio because obviously there's music, you know, they have music at the gym, you know, to get you amped and stuff. So I obviously I put in my own music. You guys are listening to it now. Not my own music, but you know, YouTube's free music studio. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It was just a short experience. of us doing a little bit of rock climbing. If you want to see more of it, Crazy actually recommended maybe I do a 1 a month video as like a progression video, because most of these climbing problems will actually stay up for about a month to give you ample time to get through it. So I figured this way we could do like a, oh, well, you saw me fail on that 1v2. Maybe by the end of the month, I'll be able to get up, you know, up to the top of it. And I think they just changed that wall, so there is a chance I can do that overhanging one again that you saw me fall on. Because those are a lot of fun, but they are quite physically demanding. And even and for everyone out there that's going, oh, I see a weak boy, look, he wasn't even able to get up these, go try it for yourself. Bouldering and rock climbing in general will zap your strength more than anything and make these meaty forearms feel something, you know. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know I had a little fun putting this one together, so, you know, let me know what you guys think. If you had enjoyed it, you know, leave that sweet like. And I'm going to get out of here. So thanks for chilling with Icy.